Recording started.
Okay, this is your Blackboard Collaborate information session on how to use the various tools within Blackboard. To start, if you're adding text to the chat box, you would type in your text in the bottom box, press enter, then that comes into this news feed. The next box up from the bottom left, you'll see the main room. Inside will list all the members of the class that are in there and has the various tools that they have access to. You can X those if you don't want them to have access to a particular tool, or unclick it there in the main room, and you can do that for the individuals in your class as well. Your smiley emojis are here, so if I'm taking attendance, I might say put a smiley face by your name. That'll show that they're there, and then they can also show that they're away from their computer for a second and click that back off. Put a hand up if they have a question, and then the moderator can tell where the questions are and call on those. You can clear that once they've answered, and you also have the option of a poll. To click that polling option, you can change the poll from a yes/no poll up to using tools and go to polling type of ABC instead of yes/no. Now that drop down will include those choices. So if your question to the class said, if you decided that right was the answer for A, left was the answer for B, and south was the answer for C, or whatever, they can pick that particular answer. Up in the top, there's three icons here. One is for whiteboard access. With the whiteboard, you can create a whiteboard. In that whiteboard, you can create text block. Click on that, change the font, and come up here to type in your text. You can change the color of that font. You can change it to bold print, italics, and so forth. You can also use a pen, and click that again. Now you have a tool that you can write on, and then you can also clear your whiteboard page. For application sharing, you can use this to share what you have on your screen and then you can also use the web tour to type in a web link. If the follow me is clicked, the students will follow you to this particular website. It will show on their page, and they have access to the hyperlinks that are also in there as well. If you don't have the follow me, then they will only be able to see what you're sharing, and they will not be going to the website with you. So for breakout rooms, up in tools, come down to breakout rooms. You can create breakout rooms, select the number that you want, and create. At this point, you have 3 breakout rooms, and you can move by clicking main room and move between the breakout rooms. As they work in a breakout room, you can have them complete an activity on their whiteboards and then bring them back together in the main room and bring all of those whiteboards back to the main room by copying all whiteboards to the main room. You also, when you have everyone return to the main room, if you click close breakout rooms, they're all gone. And while you're in a breakout room, you can go to whiteboard. At this point, you could take information, copy a page to a breakout room. So on your, go back to tools, if you're in whiteboard, and let's say we we had this and then we wanted to go to whiteboard, you could, no, well, if you had breakout rooms created, now you can go to tools and the whiteboard and copy a page to a breakout room. So that would allow you to pick which room you wanted to see that and copy. So in room 1, and again, we're going to close all the breakout rooms. The last thing was load content. So if I go to load content, I can go to desktop. I can choose my PowerPoint. Now that PowerPoint is in for my students to see. If I had breakout rooms, I could share this just with 1 or 2 rooms or bring it all back together. And that concludes this information. Oops. So the load content, I think, kicked off the microphone, but once that content is in, it's visible by everyone in the room. It can be sent out specifically to the breakout rooms, or it could be left in the main room for students to see. And that should conclude this recording.
Recording stopped.